Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back on the DC Universe Online test server with some more episode 37, Birds of Prey. So this video is mostly going to be going through the solo one final time as they added feats. But in the beginning I just wanted to go over the patch that went out on Friday, April 3rd. So they did fix a bunch of the issues that were going on with the open world, where like if you completed a quest it would still like mark everything and all the icons would still show up. So I did go out there and confirm that it does work. So the missions should be clear, like when you complete it it'll actually look like it's complete, and that will help you get the nodes for the overlapping missions. And they did some fixes with the counters, where like some of the ads were counting as 0 and others, the other nodes that were counting as more than one is supposed to be intended. So I don't know, it's not like an objective count, it's more like a point count. So I don't know, it doesn't matter as long as it finishes in an efficient amount of time. And overall, it's not bad. Birds of Prey Metropolis does finish pretty quickly. It's just that there's a bit more travel distance than Thanagar. Thanagar was like super efficient, probably our most efficient open world. 3-mission open world, that is, because Titans was pretty fast because it was 2. Birds of Prey, not bad for a Metropolis map, especially after all of those bug fixes. They also fixed some spawn points with poison ivy. And let's look at the solo feats. I don't know if this is complete, but there's certainly more than before. So over here you do get some open world counters. These are raids, saving 90 cats, 33 of Ivy's babies. I actually never came across this one because there are like nodes on the roof that I never looked at that are not part of the daily, so that's probably what this is. 100 riders. Like I would say I probably did the open world 3 times, so if you figure you get 10 or 11-ish, this should complete in 2 weeks. Cats. Oh wow. So if the cat one is going to be slower, but this will definitely still complete. So if you figure you get 20 in a week, yeah, there's no reason to force this one. This will complete before the life of the DLC. Seems to be the only 3, which is kind of normal for an open world. There aren't too many feats out there for that. Now, where are the Lobo ones?
Patrolling for intruders.
Okay, so there are 3 for the solo. There's the standard Hard Knocks one, as expected. There's Busy Work, defeat 63 enemies in a single run. This one is going to be a little bit tricky. But I'm told by a couple of friends that after you... Well, one person said that before you defeat Lobo, you can go back and get the respawns. Another person said you could defeat Lobo and still go back and get the respawns. So we'll take a look at that. I think what we'll do is we'll get up to Lobo, then we'll backtrack to the beginning and see how many respawn. And then what I'll do is I'll complete the feat. We'll put a cut in there because this sounds like it's going to take a long time. And then I'll tell you how long it took. And after the feat pops, what we're going to do is defeat the boss, get that scoreboard to show up, and then go back and see if they respawn again. So it's worth testing to see if they continue to spawn after the instance is complete. Okay, and the third one is called Save Your Bacon, which I got already on just an unrecorded run. But this was the one I mentioned in the previous videos, and you can get to any of the older videos by checking out the playlist or clicking the card above. But yeah, this was the one where you had to get the safe spot away from the motorcycle, from his space bike. And the spot in my previous video should do. Alright, let's get in there. They did fix this where it shows up as a T10. Before they were listing it under T9. So actually, if you analyze all of the feats I just mentioned, it should be completable on a single run, which I think is odd. They usually don't do that for a solo. There's usually something in there that's a grind, or something that's like a checklist. So, yeah, it feels a little bit light to me. They added the cutscene skip here. One of the bug fixes was Superman will break these doors faster, because before he was taking too long.
We'll have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Alright, let's just go ahead and count these ads. We'll start out with 2 here. That's 4. That's 6, and we're working on 7 here. And we got 8. This will make 10.
Oracle told me you were on the way.
You should head up. I have a separate mission for Huntress that should reduce the number of automated defenses in your way.
Jenny, why do you still care? Did you hear something?
Okay, this will make 12. I'm hoping all of these respawn, so that way we don't have to keep like warp rallying. We got 13. Okay, this is weird. Okay, we have to get this. Okay, so that's 14. On a previous run, I swore I got 13. So the ad configuration might not be the same all the time. So what I initially thought, before people told me about the respawn, I thought you had to stall this fight until the ads kept like respawning, but they actually don't. There's only 3 ads in this fight. And they come out at various points in his health. And surprisingly, there's no feat in this fight. Like, I was expecting a defeat Hive Master without damaging the boss, without taking out these ads or something, but. So this is a pretty straightforward fight. They didn't do any updates in this. As long as you don't get hit by that 360 laser, he doesn't do that much damage, and his ads also don't do that much damage. And if you defeat him, the ads disappear. I don't even know if those count. So I'm just not gonna count them to be on the safe side. So we'll say 14. So it's 14 if the first half respawns. Got one more there. Three here.
If I miss rehearsal for this, the band is gonna be pissed.
You're a member of the Justice League. Surely they'll understand. This is Luther's inner sanctum. If there's any clear
So that's
evidence
5.
of fate, it'll be here. Doesn't look good for Luther.
Okay, so that's it. there are 19 total. So we will have to let it respawn twice if the whole building respawns roughly twice. Okay, so we're gonna do this Lobo fight. I did a few test runs of this, and the bike, as mentioned in the previous videos, comes out of the left or right holes in the building. And I've had better luck on the left. Like, so far on the left I haven't been hit by it, but for some reason on the right the bike still reaches. I'm not sure why. They seem like equivalent lengths. So we'll just say this is the safer spot. Now you do have to be careful because Lobo can pull you. This does actually help to be a tank because you could get him here quicker. And normally I would fight with the camera opposite, but I do want to show the two holes. And we'll see where the bike comes from. So it's on the opposite side. It does have pretty long range, but it didn't reach. But my complaint about this fight though is, like, if you get hit by any of the bike's attacks, it's pretty much a one-shot. Yet over here, where the skill is, like with countering and stuff, Lobo barely does any damage. I mean, he's supposed to be the boss.
Will you never...
There's the bike again. So I think what they really should do is reduce the bike damage and increase the actual boss's damage. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I was supposed to check if it respawned like before I fought Lobo. So this run will just confirm to see if the feat pops after you complete the instance, which I was curious about anyway. And keep in mind that the hard knocks is for the entire instance. It's not just for this boss. So you have to go through the entire instance without supercharge or consumable. And there's nothing in here that would really prevent you from doing that. So that's hard knocks.
Hidden teleporter. Judging by the abundance of mace body spray in the air, Jimmy and Lois
Pretty straightforward solo.
The teleporter's on cooldown.
Okay, let's go back and see if they respawn.
Lois and Jimmy in trouble? Must be Tuesday. I'll get the birds of prey to figure out that teleporter and let you know when it's up and running. Word of warning, I'm working with Harley Quinn on a provisional basis. She can be...
Okay, that didn't take us back to the beginning.
To be a better person.
Ah, Mr. Brief.
When I became Oracle, I reached out to Black Canary and other heroes to be my field agents. The birds of prey handled the missions, and I was their handler. But once the exabytes produced thousands of new heroes, I had to step up to run a larger network than I'd ever envisioned. It's nice to get back to my roots.
Okay, so there's two that respawned. Let's see. How far am I? Okay, we're back, and we should be closer now, although I kind of lost count, because there is a pause for the respawn. There's nothing, as far as I could tell, that you could do to trigger it, because I tried running around and I tried waiting, and there's no difference. Now, these are the only ads that respawn are the ones in the first half, before you reach Hive Master. So you can't run around the entire building getting those, but there were more in the beginning anyway, as we saw, like what was it, like 14 versus 5. So yeah, I think this run should give it to us. But I may have miscounted. Yep, there it is. So how long did that take? That's not bad, actually. Oh wait, the clock stopped. Yeah, that's how long it took until the boss was defeated. I always thought the timer just kept counting as long as you were in here. But you'll see roughly from the length of the video, and maybe a little bit more. But to me, that's still kind of an annoying feat, because in previous solos or any other content, it would just be a counter that kept going with multiple runs, and I think that makes more sense from a multitasking point of view. And also running back or warping and trying to get them to respawn. To me, that's kind of like a fourth wall type of thing, where the feat is based on, like a game function rather than like being immersed in the content. So I don't know. Hopefully they can change that to like a multiple run counter. I wouldn't even mind if that counter was like much larger, because like we're gonna be running this every day anyway. I would rather have like a total run instead of like one annoying run. And yeah, like I said, this solo just feels like it's light with feats. I mean, there's just 3 of them and you get them in a single run. That doesn't seem right either. They've got to add something with Hive Master, maybe even some other one on Lobo. It just feels like it needs a bit more. I did get a base item, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. But that'll be it for the instance / content, if that's what you were here for. And we'll look at the one new base item. I'm thinking it was a floor item. It was like an encased robot or something. Oh, that's a lot smaller than I thought. It looks strikingly similar to a Steelworks robot.
Scanning island.
Okay, I think that's gonna do it, unless they add some more feats, or if I'm able to get a group, hopefully we can see some more content, but otherwise this should be coming out, I believe April 16th or somewhere around there. So yeah, just stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.